Okay.
Thank you. I would just add, I do think it is clear as well, and I am open to suggestions to make the minutes more clear, but the recording of how each board member voted is reflected in the minutes. Just maybe in a different format than is requested.
I think that's all was needed, because I'm not sure everybody was clear on that definition. So, okay.
I have one more question.
Yes, Mr. Kinney.
So, with these 52 professional hires, are these new hires or are these reappointments? I'm not clear.
They're all reappointments except for 2 individuals, I think.
So these people are already on staff. It's just going through this again, right?
Correct. These are our regular staff members that have been in the positions. They're not new, except with the exception of 2.
Okay. So that's a lot different. Okay.
Okay. Any more questions? Okay, let's move to action items. Let's move to approve closed and special public meeting minutes of August 9th, 2021. Can I have a motion? Oh,
So moved.
Second.
Thank you.
Mr. Carolyn?
This is August 9th only?
Yes.
Yes.
Mr. Fortunato?
Yes.
Mr. Kinney?
Yes.
Ms. King?
Yes.
Ms. Koulikortis?
All except for P9.
Just-
Oh, sorry, yes, yes, I'm sorry.
Just the minutes. Okay, Ms. Sullivan?
Yes.
Ms. LaForgia?
Yes. Okay, move to approve action work session minutes of August 23rd, 2021. May I have a move?
Second.
Second?
Are we including August 30th too, or?
23.
23.
Yeah.
Mr. Carolyn?
Yes.
Mr. Fortunato?
Yes.
Mr. Kinney?
Yes.
Ms. King?
Yes.
Ms. Koulikortis?
Yes.
Ms. Sullivan?
Yes.
Ms. LaForgia?
Abstain. Can I move to approve closed and special meeting minutes of August 30th, 2021?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Carolyn?
Abstain because I was not in attendance.
Mr. Fortunato?
Yes.
Mr. Kinney?
Yes.
Ms. King?
Yes.
Ms. Koulikortis?
Yes.
Ms. Sullivan?
No.
Ms. LaForgia?
Abstain. Okay, let's move to approve action items as follows. P1 through P18, E1 through E4, OP1 through OP5, 5.1 through 5.9, OP1 through, I did it again, Angela, PO1 through PO2. Can I have a
So moved.
second?
Seconded.
Mr. Carolyn?
Yes.
Mr. Fortunato?
Yes.
Ms. King?
Yes.
Mr. Kinney?
Yes.
Ms. Koulikortis?
All except for P9, under the Ramapo High School clubs, B, the Ramapo Republican Club, because my daughter is the one who founded that.
Ms. Sullivan?
I'm sorry, I can't hear. Did you call on me?
Ms. Sullivan?
Yes, okay. I'm voting yes, except for P9-8, Women's Empowerment Club, Stacy Anson as advisor. I'm voting no on P14, Michael McLaughlin, Michael McAleer, and Mark Yanati as coaches for the Ramapo High School ice hockey team. And, bear with me, no on E2, which is the co-matriculation agreement.
I'm sorry, Ms. Sullivan, can you just say the P9, what letter was it?
Hold on. P9 is little letter E, like Edward, Women's Empowerment Club. Advisor Stacy Anson, I'm voting no. Is that the one?
Thank you. Ms. LaForgia?
Okay, yes to all except P9E, that's a no. Sorry, hold 14, M, no, N, no, and P, I must abstain. And the rest is yes, thank you.
Angela, can I just add, I'm not voting no, I'm abstaining from P9B.
Yeah.
Just want to
Yeah.
make sure that's clear.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Are we good?
I think so.
Okay, let's move on to committee reports and comments. Does anybody object going through the order that it is on now? No? Okay. Mrs. Koulikortis, would you like to go first?
Sure.
Thank you.
So we had our communications meeting on October 13th. We discussed the meet and greet for Dr. Dionisio, which is happening on October 28th, this Thursday, at Indian Hills. RSVP is required for your attendance, and we look forward to welcoming Dr. Dionisio. Thank you.
Thank you, Helen. John Carolyn, would you like to go next, please?
Sure. So the Education Committee met on October 21st. Obviously, you heard the presentation from Dan this evening, which was a good portion of our time. I want to thank Dan for being proactive, because obviously in some of the areas that we want to see some improvements in, instead of just waiting for improvements, we're starting to have actions with our teachers to help out our students in getting those scores higher, so thank you for that. We also spent some time, talking about the dual articulation agreements. And again, we think this is a really good advantage for the students because it allows them to go to that first year of college with a certain number of credits already accomplished. And when they can do it in these core courses, it really helps them out in that first year. So they want to take a lighter load as a first year freshman or even just finish up a semester early. Some students are able to get enough credits that can actually complete a semester before they leave Ramapo, Indian Hills. So I want to thank him for his efforts with that because I know it's a lot of work and I think this is a really good program and sets us apart from other high schools. So thank you, Dan. We also talked about the bridge year policy, which we have approved tonight. So thank you on that. And that basically is for those students who want to spend another year here at school because of COVID. They can do so and then participate in the spring sports. And we are looking at completing the posting of all the curriculum by the beginning of the second marking period or shortly afterwards. So that hopefully will get done right around that time. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Carolyn. Robert Fortunato?
Nothing to report on negotiations. That's pretty much wrapped up until next year.
Robert, can you speak up?
Sorry?
Can you speak up?
It's not on.
Sorry, I can't hear you.
Oh, there it is. Nothing to report on negotiations. That's pretty much wrapped up until next year. I was happy to see that the window project in Indian Hills came in at $94,000 under budget, so that's good. That's all.
Thank you, Mr. Fortunato. John Kinney?
For strategic plan, we're meeting on Wednesday to check in on the progress on the 4 different initiatives. To some of the board members that haven't been able to talk to the through group, I would highly recommend that you reach out to them to schedule some time. I know there's been some conflicts, so if you can do that, that would be great. Dan, and just on a personal level, Dan, thank you for the great presentation. I know it's not an easy year, especially with the pandemic going on, so, and I would agree with John that putting some actions down to make sure that those numbers start to go up is priority number 1. As far as to my fellow board members, I wanted to basically say thank you, and I will serve each one of you equally in the VP position. Hopefully I'll be able to bring some of the experience from being president last year to help smooth things out and continue to focus us on student education after Mr. Buto's abrupt departure. And then I also wanted to wish some of you in the audience, the board members, the candidates, the best of luck in the election. I know that's coming up next week. We appreciate you signing up. Being part of the process is not easy, as well as, we've all endured a lot in this pandemic, so, our work is all cut out for us. So thank you for being included in this as well. And that's about it. So.
Thank you, Mr. Kinney. Mrs. King?
So as usual, our business administrator stole my thunder. But thank you for the update. We had a great presentation by a company who is giving us a lot of information about how we as a district can save money and save energy. We are looking at all avenues in order to save the district and the taxpayer money, and as well as looking to upgrade our facilities so they can be as up-to-date as possible. And I want to thank you, Tom, for setting that up. I appreciate it. It was very enlightening. See what I did there? So I also wanted to congratulate John Kinney. You really, when you were president last year, although we did have our disagreements, you were a stabilizing force, and I, for one, was very happy to elect you as vice president. So thank you for taking the reins. And that's about it.
Thank you, Mrs. King. Mrs. Sullivan?
Thank you, Mr. Forgia. So the Policy, Legislative, and Litigation Committee met on October 13th. We had recommended to the board 4 policies that would be approved. One of them got taken off, and I haven't been able to touch base with Dr. Rashika as to why that was on the teacher's evaluation, but I can get with him to find out what the reason was. So as you can see, there's 8420.01 on fire drills. The only change there was to require teachers to keep doors unlocked during school hours. So that's on the website for a first read. I already discussed policy 2415.15, which is on the agenda concerning surveys. There's the 3-year bridge year pilot program, which is also on the website. Under that policy, high schools can offer students in the graduating classes of 2021 and 2022 the opportunity to pursue a bridge year during the year immediately following their senior year of high school. So the purpose of the program was to provide participating students an additional year to address learning loss and any missed opportunities in extracurricular activities, including spring sports, as a result of the public health emergency caused by the COVID-19 pandemic. I already expressed my thoughts about the emergency virtual and remote instruction plan. I think it should be posted prior to the meeting, and I also request that language be added, including the provision to alert parents that there are additional opportunities for certain students who have underlying health conditions through their IEP, and as long as it's done through the home instruction process, which is New Jersey Administrative Code 6A:16-10.1. I have another meeting scheduled for Friday with the policy committee. So we will take on the never-ending list of policies that seem to come out from Strauss-Esme. Also wanted to report that I will be attending tomorrow through Thursday the New Jersey School Boards Association annual workshop meeting. I attended last year. It was very informative. I will attend by Zoom. I also have requested that at the next meeting we put in a proper resolution acknowledging John Budo's contributions for his 9 years as a board member. I spoke to Dr. Rashika about that earlier today, so I hope and suggest that he does that so that we can properly recognize Mr. Budo's 9 years of service. And then finally, I just don't know the date for the Finance Committee meeting. I know you've been overwhelmed. Are we having that meeting this week? And if so,
Hoping to have it next week.
next week, not
Yes.
this week? Okay.
Thank you, Ms. Sullivan.
That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. As for me, I just want to thank Mr. Sullivan also for his presentation, and I also want to thank you guys for coming out on such a bad night. I always appreciate people coming out and voicing their opinions.